Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. That's the picture on it. It's an old deck. It's by Bill Greer, directed by Lloyd Morgan, under the direction of Lloyd Morgan, something like that. There's also some inspiration they mention on the other side. For some reason, I feel the need to show that. So, there you go. Supportive Oracle cards. Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. So there's those. I find these cards are going they seem to match quite well together. So let's see. All right, I like what we got so far. Okay. I like this. I feel like I say that a lot. At least, do I say that a lot for Virgo? Maybe I'm just thinking I do. I like this, though. I really do. Coming into it, this seems like this is, really good for you. And not every sign would handle this well, and maybe that's why. You got patience, but it's patience in the sense of I feel like you are working on something, but it's kind of like building a house. But in the sense of you already got the outside up, you got the walls up. Now you gotta you're doing the internal pieces at this point, right? So when I'm feeling the patience, it's like you're at the point in the situation where there's a lot already looking right, and it's starting to get exciting. And now it's kind of now I'm filling in the gaps. And, it's not move-in ready yet, but that's okay. I'm at the point where I'm feeling like it's starting to shape up and make sense. Especially when you got the happy family with door to personal healing and happiness. Your attitude is really good for other people in this situation. In the sense of you're really punching it up in the sense of listen, we've been working on this for so long, it's starting to really come together now. It's starting to feel really good, and you're highlighting that to people. You're giving them that breath of fresh air. I don't want to say that. What do I want to say? There's gusto here. There's kind of listen, we're getting close to the finish line. You're we're getting close. Come on, let's get it together. It's great. It's we're getting there. You're inspiring other people is kind of what I'm getting. The door to personal happiness and healing or whatever. All that good stuff. I'm getting it's seeing it. It's seeing it in the distance there. You see it coming. You see it in the distance. And people are really connecting to it. All right. So you're helping. It's not just having the patience yourself. You're showing other people where this patience is paying off. And where it's going well. It's really good. There seems to be a camaraderie or a connection in the environment with you. The sixth chakra is the third chakra here. Is that the sixth? Yeah. The third eye chakra here. What I'm getting is people are starting to see the in-depth value of your connection to a situation. Not the fact that you're always there, you help things move along, you're a very active participant, you do the work that's necessary. It's not just that. But the kind of the foresight to see, putting in the effort is worth it. If we just keep up with the tempo, a little bit now, a little bit more, just these little, even if it's just a little bit at a time, it still adds up. Not that you want things to go that slow, but even if that's how it is, you're even proving to people, even if it's just a very little bit every day, even if that's what it has to be, a month passes by, if you've done that every day, you're going to have a lot behind you. I feel if you're telling somebody, even if it's $1 a day, if you save $1, if you put $1 away every day, at the end of the month, that's $30. You can do something with that. Instead of just frivolously throwing it away every day, just blowing away on this or blowing it away on that. If every day you just save $1, at the end of a month you have $30 you can do something with. Now you have a whole $30. What you can go to dinner and a movie maybe? I mean, I don't know. Depending on where you live. You know what I'm saying though. You're saying you were throwing that away and you saved it. Now you could do that. But say you save $5 a day. You go to the end of the month. You now have $150. Like you're showing people like it just takes a little bit every day. You just save that money. At the end of the month, you can do something with that. At the end of the year, if you did that and you just kept saving it, how much could you do with that? Like not for nothing. Like, and you're showing people that, like, hey, people are getting that. Like you have like a real connection to what you do. Like it's not just, you know, rote routine or just because there's nothing better to do. You have a plan behind what you do. You know, you don't just do things because, like, well, I don't have anything better to do. I guess I'll just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. Or I guess I'll just put a penny away today because I don't have anything better to do. No, you have a reason for things you do. And they're getting it. Like, I feel like there's people here that maybe haven't understand you or been your most... They haven't been your biggest cheerleader in the past. Let's do that. They haven't been your biggest cheerleader in the past. But now they're kind of like, you know, I get it. I get what the Virgo does. You're seeing that appreciation. You like it. That's the Sun card. Like, they're getting it. You're getting along really, 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 really well with this person at this time. So you're getting along very, very well with this person at this time. This is really good. They're seeing the value in you. And you do like it. You like it a lot. It's great, okay? When I'm getting the Page of Cups, this isn't diminishing it, but I feel like you're kind of like, I'll take this with a grain of salt. Right now, we're doing great. Right now, everything is wonderful. But I'm not expecting to, like, invest in this moment. Like, this is how it's going to be from here on out. I know how this person is. Today, they see my value. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's not bad. You're just... I feel like it's kind of like, you're realistic. Like, we'll see. We'll see if this holds over the test of time. Hopefully it does. Cool. I would love it for it. Would love for it to do that. They're saying they get it. They haven't gotten it before, and from now on, they're going to look at me differently. Yeah, okay. Yes, that sounds great. I'd love to see that happen. Not going to hold my breath, but it would be great. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of talk here about somebody understanding your value. It's almost like maybe this is something you've been waiting for, like hoping for even. Like maybe one day they'll figure out my true value and see where I'm coming from and that I have a reason for what I'm doing. It seems like that day has come and you're just like, maybe. We'll see. I won't hold my breath. Don't bother me. Don't worry about it. But you're thankful for it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you're diminishing it. You're just saying, sounds good. Let's see how it goes. I'm talking a lot about this too, I'm noticing. Like, there's a lot of verbal blah, blah, blah about this. The yin yang is coming in next. This same person, this has been a long time coming for them to see your value. It's taken a long time for them to really understand how much value you've had. Like, we talked about it for days, did we not? They're coming forward with a new situation. So I feel like that's why they're trying to make a big point here, a big point. Like, they literally see where your value is. New situation coming in. Now they want your 2 cents. Okay. Now, you're coming at this, and I feel like you're coming at this in a good frame of mind. And when I'm saying that, it's kind of like, okay, I know how I would handle this. As the Virgo, I know, I'm not a Virgo, but you know, as you're coming in this as the Virgo, you're going, me, the Virgo, I know how this would work for me. I know what I would do to make this work out. I know how I would plan ahead. But I also know who's coming towards me. And I'm aware what they can and can't seem to do. I may be good staying the same tempo, doing what I need to do. Doing what I need to do. Doing what I need to do. I'm good for that. I keep up with what I need to do. I've made up my mind. That's what I need to do, and then I do it, and then I do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again, because I know that will give me success. So I stick with a plan like that. Now this energy coming at me, they get bored. They get bored, or they have to think of other things. They have to have some type of difference there. They just can't stick with the same thing for too long. It could last for a while, but the longer it goes, the more likely they're just going to go a different direction at some point, and you know that. So you're like, hold on. I can't just go at this what I would do. I have to also add in there, you know, not only what I would do, but how their flavor can kind of add in there and keep it a little lively for them, but still doing the same thing, but doing it in a different way, getting the same result every day. Maybe just doing it, like instead of doing it every morning, maybe sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, switching it back and forth, maybe switching up exercises or whatever they're doing. Like, I do the same thing every day at the same time, but that's not going to work for them. So maybe finding ways they could keep doing the same thing every day, but a little bit of difference here. because you're trying your best to just, they want your input, they want to know what you would do, they want to know how you would handle it, and you're trying your best to not only give them what you would do, but also suggestions about how they can keep it lively and keep it interesting for them so they're able to actually stick with it. You get it. You understand that. They're not you. They're not you. They're just not the same person you are. You get that. So you're like, all right, here's how I would do it, but here's some ways you could maybe switch it up here and there and still keep it lively for you, where you can actually keep the base of it on point, but still have your own way of handling it. You're doing your best with it. You know what I mean? You're doing your best with it. Okay, so they're doing what they can. Okay, they are doing what they can. They got the Seven of Swords with the King of Wands. The Seven of Swords is like, it's flat out going over the King of Wands' face. They're going forward. They're doing the best they can with what you've told them. So you're telling them how you would do it. You're also telling them what you would suggest they do to keep it lively for them. You're doing your best with that. They might take your advice, but also, like, they might look at it like, this is what the Virgo would do, this is what they suggested I could try, but I'm going to take what they would do and I'm going to do something else with it here to try to make it more my flavor. So they're trying, but they're also coming at it, I feel like they're coming at it with an honest feeling, kind of like, I don't know if I can do it that way. I don't know if I can do it the way the Virgo would, even with these little extra pieces of spontaneity. I don't know if I can keep with the base, that what the Virgo was telling me this is what they would do because they would get success from that. Even though putting these little alterations, I don't know if I can do it. And they're honest with themselves, which is important. This is good, so don't worry about this. What am I going to do? I don't know if I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to try. I'm going to give it my best effort to see if the way the Virgo would do it will work out for me with my own personal alterations, but holding to the base, holding to the meat and potatoes of what it should be. And they're going forward with that. When they step forward, I feel like that's where you have to let go. You got the Fool card here. Like, all right, they're going to do what they're going to do. They have to do it their way. Okay. I know it's not going to be the way I would do it. I don't know if I can really help at this point. I can do it and I can say the way I would do it. But I've given them the best I can. I got to let it go. So the Fool card is kind of like, you're optimistic, you're hopeful for them, but you got to let them go on their own. Okay. They're going on their own. They're going to do it their way. Then we come to the end. Whatever the situation is, it seems to have a shelf life. The most important thing here is to realize you're being listened to, you're being honored. People are hearing you. This person is hearing you. But the fact that they still have to do it their own way. It's going to have a shelf life is what I'm getting. The world is coming in, and I feel like because it's at the end of this reading, it's kind of saying it's going to end at some point. It's only going to last so long, you know? And then they're going to make alterations, and they're still going to get bored. They're going to do the best they can. But they did hear you, and they tried to do what they could. They did see the value of doing it the way you said. They just couldn't seem to stick with it. But they did see the value from it. Okay, so that's fine. There's going to be other situations they still come forward to you, and they want to know what you would do. And I feel like you're wondering, like, all right, wait a minute. Is it really helping for me to tell you how I would do it? Because we're different people, and you got to do it your own way. Because it's one thing to be heard, but you're not really into just being. You don't want to just hear your own voice. Like, you're not into that. Like, you don't want to tell somebody about a beautiful dinner, and then they go make their own. Like, why go through all that if you're not going to enjoy it? Like, I don't know how to explain this other than, you know, if the information's just there but it's not going anywhere, if it's not doing anything, why do it? Why talk about something that's not going to have an effect? So you got the thinking woman. Don't get caught up in the gender, whatever gender you are, it doesn't matter. But it's somebody like really emotionally connected and thinking like, I don't mind giving my input, but if it's not going anywhere, why? Why spend the time explaining something that nothing's going to come from it? The indecision is telling me this other person does listen to you and tries to implement what they can. Um, you seem to be, the longer you go, the more of an effect you have. It's going to take some time for them to really understand the repetition. Like, they're trying to still work around the repetition, and I feel like you're good with repetition. You get success through repetition. Like, there's something about a situation, you have to keep repeating it to keep getting that success. You keep doing it the same way, you keep getting that success. And they're trying to work around it. They keep trying to pull that wild card thing. They go a little farther with it every time. It is making an effect. It is worth it. You got the High Priestess on your side. High Priestess. I'm tripping on my words for some reason. I feel like this is hard because you keep questioning, like, am I wasting my time or is this really worth it? It is worth it. It is. They are learning from you. You might want to keep whatever you're explaining to this person, however you're helping them, you might want to keep it brief. Take into account the first time you told them, like, this is how I would do it, and here's some ideas that might work for you, that might work for your flavor, because you're going to have to do it your own way. Take into account the first time, how much did they absorb? Because they did try to do it your way to an extent, for a little, you know what I mean. Take into account, like, how did that work this first time you explained it out? How much did they do it based on what, you thought they should do versus just what your base plan was? How effective was it really? And you might want to, like, tailor how much you give them next time. Not that you want to hold anything back, but, like, if they're listening to, like, how you would do it and then they're ignoring your suggestions, then don't waste your breath giving suggestions. Tell them how you would do it, and then good luck, go what you got to do. You might want to kind of, like, make it less detailed. I'm also give the base of it, the base blueprint structure. This is how I would do it. Here you go, fill in the blanks where you need to. It might make it easier for them. Because I'm getting you do have a very profound effect with this person. It's just, you might want to just kind of, like, watch how this first time comes through where they're listening to you, you're feeling great about it. How much did they really retain? Maybe just scale it back a little bit just so you don't feel like you're investing a lot of time that not a lot is coming out of. Because it might feel like that to you. There is a lot coming out of it, but you might feel like, well, I put a lot of effort here and it doesn't seem to pay off as much as I'd like it to. Give a little bit, give the structure, let them fill in the blanks, let them figure out their own flavor. That's what it's probably going to end up being. Depends on how it works out for you. Like, take it with a grain of salt. You decide what works best for you. I feel like it's really worth it because what you're doing is you're helping them move past the point of indecision. That's what it seems to be. Your influence seems to be helping this person move past the point of indecision. So they actually step forward and they have something to actually step off of and move towards instead of just floundering back and forth. Should I this? Should I that? Should I yes? Should I no? When you explain, like, what you would do with it and what you if you explain I would or wouldn't be a part of that situation, you're giving them something to think about. It's worth it. It is worth it. That's what I'm getting. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.